Hello students, in this session we will learn about the definitions and the formulas. Okay. So first of all we'll start what is correlation. If there is a simultaneous changes in the value of two variables, it may be direct or indirect cause-effect relationship, then it is called as correlation. I have already explained you in my previous video what is correlation. This is just the definition which you have to learn by heart. I have given together at one place. Second word is linear correlation. There are almost constant proportional changes in the values of two variables, that is the point corresponding to two correlated variables are on or nearer to the line. That is when I was teaching you scatter diagram method, I have told you a linear correlation means it will form a straight line either upward or downward, or the values will be nearer to that line. Then it is called as linear correlation. What is positive correlation? When the changes in the values of two correlated variables are in the same direction, it is called as positive. Same direction means upward direction. Here negative correlation, the change in the values of the two correlated variables are in opposite direction, and if it is in opposite direction it will show the downward movement, so it is negative correlation. Now correlation coefficient, the numerical measure showing the strength of linear correlation between two variables. Here strength means how much it is affecting the value of the coefficient, that is here we can understand the positive negative one thing, and second the degree, how much it is nearer to the -1, how much it is nearer to the +1, or how much it is nearer to the 0. That means we'll come to know the strength of the linear correlation. Next is scatter diagram, a simple method for defining linear correlation and its type positive and negative. This is simple method because by seeing the graph we can understand it clearly. This is for one line answers. When we have been asked, we can write this definition. Now Karl-Pearson method, it is the best method for obtaining the type and the strength. We can also say the nature of the correlation and how much it is extent, that is high degree or low degree, we can mention using this method. Next is Pearson rank correlation method. In this method we will learn about to find the coefficient of the qualitative variable. In Karl-Pearson we were using the coefficient where we can use the quantitative variables where the numbers have been given to the quantity. Here qualitative variables also we will give the rank. According to the rank we can decide and find the correlation coefficient, and also preferable when the quantitative variables there is much dispersion. Okay. Next is cause and effect relationship between the two variables cannot be proved. We cannot say that whether one is cause and the other is effect, but in this assumption that it exists we can clear the concept of correlation. Okay. Then next, if R is equal to 0, it indicates absence of linear correlation only, but there may be other type of correlation, that means low degree or highest degree. It may be nearby to 0, but we can say at least the extent of the value of the variable, that is how much it is nearer to 0. It can be high degree, it can be low degree according to the some interpretation. Okay. Next we are going to learn about the different correlation. There are two types, linear and curvilinear. We are going to learn in this lesson only linear correlation. Three methods: scatter diagram method, Karl-Pearson method, Spearman method. Scatter diagram method already done. Karl-Pearson method we are going to do now, and Spearman rank correlation method we will do it later on. Some formulas which we have to learn by heart. At one place I am giving you, that is R equals to covariance xy upon sx into xy. SD means the standard deviation. Standard deviation of x is written as sx and standard deviation of y is written as sy. Covariance formula is sigma x minus mean into y minus mean and sigma xy minus nx mean y mean upon n. Okay, these are the two formulas which we will be using as per our convenience according to the question. Okay, standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y, the formula you have learned last year. We are starting at under root sigma x minus mean the whole square upon n, sy equals to under root sigma y minus mean the whole square upon n. Our formula sigma x minus mean up to y minus mean upon under root sigma x minus mean the whole square into under root sigma y minus mean the whole square. This formula we will be using when x mean and y mean are integers. This will be our formula for the long questions This formula will be used when x mean and y mean are integers. There is no decimal number. Second one, r equals to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y upon under root n sigma x square minus sigma x the whole square into under root n sigma y square minus sigma y the whole square. This formula we will use when x mean and y mean are fractional. Okay, either of them will be fractional or both of them will be fractional. That means that will be decimal number. We use this second formula. Just the third formula, it is also called a shortcut formula, where n sigma uv minus sigma u into sigma v upon under root n sigma u square minus sigma u the whole square into under root n sigma v square minus sigma v the whole square. This formula we will use when we are having values of x and y large, or we can use the values when we have to do the 2-digit or 3-digit sum and the numbers are complex. So at that time we can take the value u equals to x minus a or x minus a upon cx and v equals to y minus b or y minus b upon c1. A and b will be the constant number which will be nearer to the mean, or we can take any such value from the variable of x and variable of y. Any values we can take which are the nearer value. Answer will be same, but according to the method we are normally taking the mean and then taking the number nearer to that and then getting the values of a and b constant. Cx and cy are the common denominators which we can take. If we have common numbers like divisibility of 100, divisibility of 2, divisibility of 50, we can take Cx as the divisible numbers which is possible. If not, take it 1. Okay, this I will teach you when we are doing the example question. Next we have for short sums two formulas. R equals to sigma x minus mean into y minus mean upon n sx into xy, and r equals to sigma xy minus n x bar y bar upon n sx into xy. This mostly we are using for short questions. All the formulas are used for short questions, but these two are specially used for short questions only. Then we have Spearman's rank correlation method. R equals to 1 minus 6 sigma d square upon n into bracket n square minus 1, where d is called as difference between the two ranks. Here observations are not repeated, we will use this formula. When some observations are repeated, we will use this formula, that is we have to use CF, that is correction factor, and this correction factor can be found by the formula sigma m cube minus m upon 12. Okay, and d will be the rank of x minus rank of y. It is written in short as rx minus ry, and after getting these values we can put in the formula and get the value. Okay, here m number of times that observation is repeated, we will take the value of m as like this. This when I will explain you on the board the sums, you will come to know. It's not so difficult, but this I have given you so that you can learn the formula by heart and it will be easier for you to do the sums. Okay, now all these formulas are at one place. Again you can go through the formulas 2-3 times, learn it by heart. These formulas are for the Karl-Pearson method and these formulas are for the Spearman's rank correlation method. Okay, thank you.